But request to all of you is, do not stop with just tools and techniques. Okay. Let us go to principles and practices and create a mindset. Okay. Because if we stick to only tools and techniques, it'll be like beautification of waste. All of you type BOW, BOW, beautification of waste. What do I mean by beautification of waste? It means when the auditors come, we beautify our workplace. The consultants come, we beautify our workplace. When the customer comes, we beautify our workplace. When maybe the MD of the organization, the top person comes, we beautify the workplace. So if you all know tools and techniques, so it'll look like, okay, you'll put some visual controls, you'll clean the machines. It look like you're following TPM pillars, okay? You'll put nice posters and other things. How many of you can relate to what I'm saying? Okay, so don't stick to tools and techniques. And if you stick to tools and techniques, it can be, you can sustain that only using command and control. Whenever there is some customer visit, whenever the MD pushes, whenever the senior management pushes, only then you can sustain that. But if you really want to sustain, you'll have to follow certain principles and practices, which is non-negotiable. Okay, this requires a structural and cultural change. Then you can move towards a learning organization. And if you're sticking only tools and technique, you will find that is more visible because you have beautified it, but less powerful. Okay. Maybe one time you've done a cleanup, it's okay. It's like Dashara, it's like Diwali that you are clean up. But then you have to have that in the long term. Okay. So this is when you go to principles and practices, then it is less visible and more powerful. All right. So we have seen that 4 golden rules: what cannot be measured cannot be improved. For those who are new here, I will just repeat this. Through measurement, you need to stabilize. And through stability, you need to standardize. Through standardize, you will sustain. And after sustenance, we need to improve. So the route from measurement, the route to improvement is, first you measure, identify the sources of instability, stabilize, standardize, sustain, and improve. The point that I'm trying to say here is, we always fall back and deteriorate, and then we restore. Okay, it is important that we restore as quickly as possible to make sure that we continue our journey of continuous improvement. Okay, what I'll do here is, I think there are a lot of slides which is repeating. I didn't want to, just a moment. All this we have covered. So what I'll do is, I will take from here on what we had discussed the last time, the data for diagnosis. Okay. I think it will make sense for the people who have attended last session. Okay, so we are talking about what are these best practices, and we were saying that it's a philosophy of continuous. These are all notes. Okay, many of the my presentation, I will not be explaining something what I've written, but I will only highlight whatever I have colored here. The continual improvement and core value adding components. That's what we need to narrow things down to. Total employee involvement is important. It depends on laws of nature.